This is the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17. For our momentary life suffering is producing for us an eternal weight of glory far beyond we all comparison. I'd like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Almighty Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. Now, we have come to the point you have to suffer, okay? If you want to make it out of here with your life, okay, you have to suffer. You have to go through your set tribulations and persecutions. Like Paul quoted in the book of Acts, through many persecutions we will enter and tribulations we will enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. That's what this is all about, okay? It's not going to be a walk in the park, okay? You are going to be tested and put through all sorts of hell, okay? We're going to get it today, okay? You're going to suffer, okay? And Yahweh Yahushua, he will test you, okay? He tests you in the furnace of affliction. Let's get it. You are going to be tested. You're not going to just sit back and say, okay, that's it. You see what I'm saying? You see, that's it. I'm just in the kingdom of heaven. No, you're going to be tested. Just how Yahushua went through his suffering, you're going to go through your suffering as well, okay? Just know you have to keep 10 toes down. You have to keep posturing. You have to keep your integrity in Yahweh Yahushua so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down. Like the brother brought out, I was listening to some videos today. Yeah, I don't know about you. I want to make it out on this trip, okay? This first run, midnight train to Georgia out of here, okay? I don't know about you. I don't want to get put to death violently and have to get reincarnated, okay? If there's a possibility I can make it out here with my life, I'm going to take it. The book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 21. The crucible is for silver and the furnace is for gold. So a person must be put his praise to the test. Okay. So yeah, like I said, you're going to go through hell. Okay. It comes with the territory. Okay. You're going to go through your set tribulations. Okay. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your loved ones. Okay. You're going to lose your wife, your kids. It's all on the table. Okay, if you want to seek Yahweh Yahushai, okay, that's what this thing's about. Okay, that's what this thing's all about. You're going to suffer, okay? It is truth, okay? Yahushai will test you, okay? The book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 24. Then Yahushua said to his disciples, if anyone wants to follow me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever wants to save his life will lose it. So you're gonna try to save your life when this mark of the beast comes out, okay? Because this devil's gonna tempt. He's gonna make it very tempting, okay? You're gonna basically you're going to try to save your life, okay? And then when this thing goes down, you're going to be destroyed, okay? When this thing goes down. But whosoever loses his life because of me will find it. For what does it benefit a person if he gains the whole world but forfeits his life? Or what can a person give exchange for his life? Okay, so that's what this thing's about. Okay, you are gonna go through it. Okay, up until you get beamed up in a chariot. Okay, that's the goal. Okay, to get beamed up in the Bible calls them wheels beside wheels or chariot. Okay, until you get beamed it up. Okay, and with that you have to have faith because a lot of us haven't seen no chariot. They're making themselves more known, but you haven't actually seen a chariot. Okay, I've seen them before, but you have to see it when it makes itself finally known. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Now, faith is sure of what we hope for, being convinced on what we do not see, okay? So, while you going through your set tribulations and your persecutions, you have to have a great deal of faith, okay? What will separate us from the love of Yahweh Yahushai? The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 32. But remember the former days when you endured harsh conflict of suffering after you was enlightened. At times you was publicly exposed to abuse and afflictions. At other times you came to share in others that was treated in the same way. For in fact, you shared in the suffering of those in prison and accepted the confiscation of your belongings with joy because you knew that as certainly you had better lasting possessions. So do not throw away your confidence because it is greatly rewarded. For you need to endure in order to do power's will and to receive what is promised. For just a little longer, and he who is coming will arrive and not delay. But my righteous one will live by faith. If you shrink back, I will take no pleasure in him. But we are not among those who shrink back and thus perish, but are among those who have faith and persevere their soul. Okay, so that's what this thing's about. Okay, you're gonna go through your tribulations. Okay, you're gonna go your set tribulations. You're gonna go through your hardships. Okay, that's what this thing's about. You have to endure hardships. Okay, let's get it. Okay, the book of Second Timothy, chapter 4, verse 5. You, however, be self controlled in all things. Here's the point: endure hardships, do the evangelist work, fulfill your ministry. Okay, so you got to fulfill your oath and promise that you took in Yahweh Yahushai. Okay, that's what this thing's about. Okay, if you want to make it out here with your life when this thing goes down, okay, once again, you are going to be tested, okay, and put through the ringer and perseverance. Okay, most brothers are going to lose their jobs, okay, lose your loved ones like we discussed, okay, lose your family, okay, but what can separate us from Yahweh Yahushai? Let's get it. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if you come to serve Yahweh, prepare your soul for temptation. So, if you come to serve Yahweh Yahushua, you have to prepare your soul for temptation, okay? He's going to put you through the ringer, okay? Yahushua is going to cause you to lose your job, lose your house, lose your car, lose your personal belongings, okay? It comes with the territory. Set thou heart aright and constantly endure, and make no haste in time of trouble. Cling unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thou last sin. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower estate. So you have to be patient when you get changed to a lower estate. You can't forsake Yahweh Yahushai. That's the time where you increase your patience and you pray to Yahweh Yahushai for your faith, okay? That's the time when you pray that you could be delivered out of whatever tribulations you're going through. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men at the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thou's way aright, and trust in him. Okay, so you have to trust in Yahweh Shai. Okay, you have to trust in Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's what this thing's about. Okay, you have to put full trust in him. The book of Job, chapter 1, one moment, verse 6. Now the day came when the sons of power came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan also arrived among them. So Yahweh, don't mean to laugh, but Yahweh shot God Satan, and Satan put you to straight hell. It's what he does. Okay, that's his job, though. Okay, that's what Yahweh created Satan to do. Okay, in the kingdom, Satan's gonna be with us in the kingdom. Okay, he's gonna be putting hell on these Edomites. Okay, but Satan's job is to put us through hell. Okay, in tribulations. Okay, I don't mean to laugh, but that's what Satan's job is. Okay, he came. See, let's read it again from the top. Now the day came when the sons of power came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan also right before them. Yahweh said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" And Satan answered Yahweh, "From roving about on the earth and walking back and forth across it." So, join ISUBK, be a Christian, okay? GMS don't have it. That's Satan's job, okay? I'm going to cause him to lose his house. I'm going to cause him to lose his loved ones, okay? I'm going to put his wife against him, okay? That's Satan's job, okay? That's what he does. So Yahweh said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears Yahweh and turns away from evil." Then Satan answered Yahweh, "It is for nothing that Job feared Yahweh. Have you have made a hedge around him and have his household will and all that he has on every side. Have blessed the works of his hands and his livestock and his increase of the land, but extend your hands and strike everything that he has, and he will no doubt curse thee to your face." Okay, so that's what Satan's job is, to make us turn our backs on Yahweh. That's Satan's job, okay, and he's gonna cause you to lose your house, okay. He's gonna cause you to lose your job, okay. He's gonna cause you to lose your kids, okay. He's gonna cause you to lose your loved ones, okay. But you have to keep 10 toes down, okay. You in this truth, okay, so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down, okay. That once again, that's Satan's job. The book of the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Okay, give me a second and a moment here. James chapter 1, verse 12. Happy is the one who endures testing, because he has proven to be genuine. He will receive a crown of life that power promised to those who love him. So when you endure all these temptations and all these tribulations, okay, happy as you gonna be, okay, when Yahweh basically when he crowned you, okay, we're gonna get crowned it, okay. It's not gonna be always catching hell, okay. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's get it. The book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 42. I, Ezra, saw on Mount Zion a great people who I would not number, and they all praise Yahweh with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man with a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of them had heads of crowns on their foreheads, and exalt him, and I marvel greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And he answered and said to me, These are the ones who have put off mortal clothing and have put on immortal, and have confessed the name of power, and now are they crowned with and receive pawns. Then I then I said unto the angel, What young man person hath crowned them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is a son of power, whom they have confessed in the world. They began. Then I began to, Then I began I greatly to commend those who stood so stiffly for the name. So, once again, okay, so there's some crowns coming after this, okay? There is some crowns, okay? There is joy and some crowns that's coming to you if you endure, okay? But you have to endure, okay, the tribulations and the persecutions, okay. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. The book of Second Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4. As a result, we ourselves boast about you in the churches of power for your perseverance and faith in all the persecution and affliction that you are suffering, that you are enduring. Okay, so there is once again some tribulations. Okay, but you have to endure and persevere if you want to make it out with your life when this thing goes down. I don't know about you. I want to be with the first resurrection and, and get crowned, okay? And receive and drinking that bubbly with Yahweh Shai. Could you imagine that? The book of Second Timothy chapter 3 verse 10. You, however, have followed my teachings, my way of life, my purpose, my faith, my patience, my love, my endurance, as well as the persecutions and sufferings that happened me in Antioch and Iconium and Lystra. I endured these persecutions, and Yahweh delivered me out of all of them. Okay, so just remember that whatever you're going through, Yahweh Shah is going to deliver you. Okay, He's not going to let you just be out there. Okay, whatever you're going through, He will deliver you. Okay, He can't turn His back on His saints. Okay, so whatever you're going through, you have to call upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down. The book of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14. Therefore, since we have a great high priest that has passed through the heavens, Yahushua, the Son of Power, let us hold fast to our confession. For we do not have a high priest incapable of sympathizing with us in our weakness, but one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are tempted, yet without sin. Therefore, let us confidently approach the throne of grace to receive mercy and find grace whenever we need help. So, whenever we need help, you have to call upon the name of Yahweh Yahushai, and He will answer you. Okay, that's His promise. Okay, Yahushai is not a man that He shall lie. Okay, so whatever you need help, call upon the names of Yahweh Yahushai so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down. Whatever tribulation that you're going through, okay, that's Yahweh's job. And on that note, I'd like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh Yahushai. Shalom.